What's bonkin' gamers? I'm sure most of you know about Lunchly, and for those of you who do know, I'm sure you'll know just how much of a mess it has been recently. And just for those people who don't know, I'll quickly catch you up to speed. Lunchly is a collaboration between MrBeast, KSI, and Logan Paul, and what they aim to do with Lunchly is make it a healthier alternative to Lunchables. So they claim that Lunchly is higher in protein, has less calories, and overall is just a more healthy alternative to Lunchables. And while that is good in and of itself, it has just been a complete mess from the start. Now, before I start completely criticizing Lunchly, one thing I do want to say is that I think the idea itself isn't bad. I think we all know that Lunchables are not the healthiest thing you could eat, right? They're completely processed and artificial and just overall are unhealthy. So the fact that a group of people came together and said, hey, we should make a healthier alternative to this, that's not bad. I think that's really great, actually. But the main problem is how they marketed it and started making ads and trying to sell it to people, specifically kids.
And more B vitamins.
Crunch Bar.
Whoa.
Feastables Crunch Bar. If you look at this close up, you can already tell which one has better ingredients. All right, we'll start off with the Lunchables.
Bro, I'm sorry, that's trash.
All right, now we're trying Lunchly. Come on.
We're not biased at all, but ours is way better.
Come in close and look at the queso cheese in Lunchly versus whatever that is.
Drip versus stick. I like my cheese drippy, bruh.
This is a Lunchly salsa right here. Look at the consistency, the texture. And this is Lunchables. Look, it's watery. I can't even look at that.
After watching the clips, I think we can all come to the conclusion that Lunchly is just trying to target children, right? Listening to the language, things like the Lunchable is trash, the Crunch Bar is trash, I'm not biased, but ours is just better. It's pretty obvious, right? To an adult, you can watch something like that and be a little skeptical and try to come to your own conclusion and make your own guesses, right? But to a child who's just listening to one of their idols say, this is bad and this is good, it's obvious. Children can't really make critical thinking decisions like that on their own. Whenever they hear someone they like or someone who's famous say, this is good, this is bad, they're not going to make those kind of decisions. They're just going to go with whatever people tell them. And that's automatically why it's problematic, because they're just targeting children in a way that it's... I'm sure you guys get what I mean. I'm sure I don't need to explain myself a whole lot here, but I think we can all just see what they're doing, and it's kind of scummy, honestly. There is one argument I've seen a couple people make that I just want to get ahead of real quick. Most of you know about DanTDM. He made a post a little while ago saying pretty much what I said just a second ago, that Lunchly is targeting children, and we can all see that. Some people have said that DanTDM is hypocritical for calling out Lunchly when he did something similar. A little while ago, we all know DanTDM makes Minecraft-related toys, right? So some people were saying it's hypocritical for him to market toys and then criticize Lunchly for doing a similar thing. However, in my opinion, those are very different scenarios. DanTDM just made some toys and said, hey, here's some toys I made, go check them out. While Lunchly was, Lunchables is terrible, Lunchables sucks, Lunchly is amazing, give it a try, it's just better. Those are two very completely different scenarios, and I don't even know how they got compared to each other, because they're not even close to being the same. So that's just one argument I saw that I just want to... no, I just want to get that cut out of there, because it's like, it's not even close. Speaking of DanTDM, I think it would be a good idea to move on from the marketing to just the response that Lunchly has had with some people criticizing them. So let's get into that for a little bit. I'm sure most of us have seen the tweet made by DanTDM, and in case you haven't, it pretty much boils down to Dan saying a lot of creators are using their platform to market products rather than making good content. And Logan's response to that was, well, there's nothing really wrong with that. I think we should be able to use our platform to make money. And if you don't like what we're doing, just don't eat Lunchly. And plus, Lunchables supposedly contains lead, and no one said anything about that. And just in response to that, everything has lead in it. All the drinks you drink have lead. All the foods you eat have lead. There's lead in pretty much everything. So it's kind of a nothing burger of an argument to make there. I'm sure you guys have also seen the countless responses KSI has made to Dan TDM as well. He's made so many tweets, talked about Dan on podcasts. He's just been super butthurt about the whole thing. But I have a little game theory that I think might explain why he's talking about Dan so much. Keep in mind, I just said this was a theory, there's no definitive proof, but in my mind, KSI is mostly doing this for publicity. Because think about it, Dan made one tweet while KSI has been talking about him pretty much endlessly. And people have made memes, people have made, TikToks and stuff like that. And if people keep seeing those memes and TikToks, they're going to keep thinking about the KSI and Dan TDM drama, quote unquote drama. And so they're going to be thinking about Lunchly, they're going to be thinking about Prime. They're just, those things are going to stay on their mind if KSI keeps talking about it. So it's kind of, in a backwards way, its own sense of advertising, even if it's a little strange. But that's just something I wanted to throw out there because surprisingly, not a couple, but other people haven't come to the same conclusion. But I feel like it's kind of easy to see if you just put the pieces together in the right way. I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that out there because that was my little game theory, a little idea that I had that I thought I might as well just throw out there. Something else that I kind of wanted to just throw out there because I think it's sort of related is Mr. Beast's seemingly unwillingness to take constructive criticism. There's this one clip that I, for the life of me, cannot seem to find. It's this one person trying a Feastables bar and saying, "Oh, this is alright, it's about a 7 out of 10. And then Mr. Beast takes it and says, "Oh, maybe it's defective, let me try it." And he takes a bite, says, "Oh, it's 10 out of 10, 100 out of 10, best thing I've ever eaten." I feel like when you're making products and you see constructive criticism and go, "Well, I think it's good, so who cares?" That's just not a very good strategy because when you're unable to take constructive criticism, it just doesn't look very good for you. It makes you look like you're surrounded by yes men who just approve of everything you do. And just seeing that makes me worry a little bit that that mentality might be, slipping its way into Lunchly, but there's no evidence of that. There's no way to prove that. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But hopefully Mr. Beast and the rest of the team who makes Lunchly doesn't think that way as well, because that's just really problematic, in my opinion, at least. But like I said, there's no evidence for this, so we'll just have to see what happens. Overall, I think the way they target children with their advertising is really problematic, and I think the way they've reacted to criticism is not very good either. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if they had just wanted to make a healthier alternative to Lunchables, I would genuinely have no problem with that. I think that's a great idea. But the way they've advertised toward children and had poor response to criticism, it just looks really bad on their end. Maybe in the future, they'll just be better. Maybe they'll start a whole new ad campaign and just focus on making a good product. But right now, it's not really looking the greatest for them, in my opinion. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to say a couple things that I feel like I haven't seen too many other people say, and I just wanted to get my opinion out there on the internet. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Would really appreciate that if you did it. Be sure to check out the Discord server that hopefully I'll remember to link in the description. But yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I love you, and I will see you all later.